Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sport Show right here on Smash FM here on a Monday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go up to our friends up in Brisbane, and for the Ruby Series in particular, the defending champs, they took on the ladder leaders in the Cougars on the weekend, and well, they put them to shame, didn't they? They won by just under 10 goals in their game against the Cougars to possibly put them above them on the ladder now with that win. And of course, we've got two very special guests joining us right now to tell us all about it. Thanks, Bree, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
No worries. Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position both of you played on the court.
Hi, I'm Grace Hamilton and I'm goal shooter, goal attack.
I'm Jada Anstey and I play centre wing attack.
Tell us a bit about that top of the table clash with the Cougars couple of days ago. Actually, it was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes, yesterday, yeah. It's 10 o'clock yesterday. It was a bit of an early round.
Yeah, it was stressful going into it, but in the first quarter, I think we had...
Yeah, the first quarter, we started out, I think it was like 4-0 to them in the first couple of minutes, and everyone was like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know, kind of just flipped it, and we ended up winning that by... maybe it was 8. Yeah, it was a pretty good first quarter and everything just went up from there. I don't know, there was a couple of patches. I know we won 2 quarters.
Especially in the second quarter, that was a rough one.
Cougars won the second quarter, so we kind of had to pull ourselves back and do our work again. But no, it was good contest. Cougars are always good competition for us.
So you won 2 of the quarters and obviously winning the points for the win as well. I guess, how good is it to come away with even though you didn't win 2 of the other quarters, which would have got you maximum points, but how good was it to get over the line against the Cougars and I think might have put yourselves back on top of the ladder?
Hopefully. I did have a look at it yesterday. I'm not sure because we might still be 2 behind.
Yeah.
But that means, I don't know, like a quarter difference. If we win 1 more quarter this weekend to them, that means we do get on top. But to be able to flip it, because the last time we versed them and they beat us, but we all knew like in ourselves that wasn't our best game, so it's kind of good to really have a nice hit out and prove to them that we've still got it.
The first quarter, because that was the difference in the game, because I think the margin of victory is about 10 goals at the end. I guess how important was it to get off to a pretty good start in the first quarter, even though Grace, you mentioned that you got to you gave away the first 4 goals and then you came back like you did.
Yeah, well, I know our team, we kind of have a habit of, I don't know, rough starts, or in that third quarter usually is our downfall. But to be able to really quickly turn it around, I think it made the difference, because then that became the difference that we won by, I think it was. But yeah, starts are always important, and I think we really realized in like those first few minutes, like, girls, we've got to get ourselves together.
How's the pressure been like being the defending champs?
Huge.
Yeah, I think everyone, all our competition, they come up against Tigers and they go, oh my gosh, like reigning champions, like they picture us as the team to beat.
Yeah.
And I know the whole competition this year has been actually a lot tighter than previously.
Especially with Grace and I coming in, this being our first year as well, we feel like we've got something to prove and to keep Tigers up the top.
Yeah. We don't want to be the reasons why we don't.
So that just had a look. You actually won by 8 goals at the end. Now it was an early morning game as well. On top of that, did that help you in your favour a little bit?
Somewhat, I believe so. To get it up in the morning and like you have your first energy, and I think it helps because you're not thinking about it and stressing about it for the whole day. You just get it done and you play your best. Really, yeah. We're all
nice and fresh, and motivated.
This week, you go from a very early morning Sunday game to a very, very late Saturday game at 7 o'clock against the Panthers there at Nissan Arena. How's the preparations like against another top 4 team?
Yeah, well, Panthers they came into this season as an underdog, and I feel like they didn't realize like they're really good this year. So, and I think that proved when they beat us by 1 in the last time we versed them. Like,
they were very unpredictable. Yeah. Like they had a whole new team and we were missing a couple players, so like
Yeah.
we were all stressed about that, and
So
this time's gonna be
and
different,
especially
so.
I think they also beat Cougars a couple of weeks ago. So
Yeah.
but in terms of preparation, we've got our trainings tomorrow and Thursday, so we'll be working on those court systems, looking at maybe what went wrong the last time we versed them and targeting that so that we can redeem ourselves again, I suppose.
Yeah.
Get another win on that board, and hopefully this time it'll pop us into first.
Look at a lot at the moment in the Ruby series. Obviously yourselves, the Cougars, the Jets, and the Panthers are the only 4 teams that are above 100 points for the season. Huge gap to everyone else. Do you think that will be the 4 for the rest of the year?
Unpredictable to say, really,
Yeah.
because a lot of the games are really close, and some teams are only losing by 2, and that's the downfall that really puts them down. So
yeah, those quarters I think are going to play a really big part in who ends up, especially in that third and fourth position. Because if you look back to last year, I think it was the same thing with a couple of the teams with Jets and Bond and Sunny Coast. They all had to really fight in those last couple of games. And I don't think there was much difference between 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th on the ladder. So I think we only have 3 games left until finals. But even with it looking kind of solid, I think those quarters are going to be really important for those 3rd, 4th, 5th teams to bump up, and that will be the deciding factor.
Now, you mentioned you're 2 points behind the Cougars for top spot at the moment. Do you prefer to finish top at this stage?
I feel like to a point it is comforting to know that you are at the top, but it also makes you a very strong target as well.
I know it's that reputation minor premiers or whatever it is, but and you do get that second chance in finals, but it doesn't mean you're necessarily safe. So whether we finished first or second, like the finals, you've only got one shot really. So either way, we've got to go in as if we are on top, and like that, the target's on our head really.
What's a bit about your coaches there at the Ruby series?
Justin and Joe are the loveliest coaches. They're very yin and yang.
Yes. Oh,
Justin
absolutely.
is kind of a crack up, and Joe's like our mum.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see it at training. Sometimes with their what they're coming up with, one person says the other, and then the other one comes and says something else, or it might say it a different way, and you go, oh my gosh, who do I listen to? But no, I think especially they came into the season and they hadn't met each other. I think the first training or the interview or whatever it was the first time they met each other, but it's like they've got this brother and sister relationship as well, like the mini banter and bickering, but it's just such a good environment for everyone. It's been really good to have them as our coaches this year. Really supportive as well.
What have you learnt from both those coaches?
I feel like more than anything, they've taught us what real trust is in a team. To be able to all come together and have like a genuine relationship with everyone has really helped us on the court.
Pretty much using everyone's strengths, because we have such an incredible team. Everyone's got such good strengths and they deserve their position in the team, obviously. But a team can't really succeed unless you work together. And that's been really important, a really big focus for Joe and Justin to place on us as a team, that that's what we are, a team. We're not just a bunch of individuals who are good at netball. And I know personally for me, they've been really good to emphasize, like, be confident, because if you've got the skills, like, show it off. Like, be cocky on court if you want.
Like, you've been put in the team for a reason.
Exactly.
Tell us a couple players in your team that's had an awesome season, and you can't include each other or yourselves.
I really think Erin has really stepped up this season, seeing her play being her first year as well. She's improved so much, and it's really good to see.
Erin, my vote's going to go for Maddie Cooley. I reckon she's had an absolute cracker. Like that, the first game we played, I was like, oh my God, Cooley's on fire. And then the next round came along and it was like the same thing. And Turns out Cooley's just on fire every game.
It's really hard to say, honestly, though, because everyone's really had a strong season. Like I know Lexi as well has really helped Ez and I in the attacking and like showing us what to
do. Not just a player, a mentor.
Because she's had that experience, and the same with Em would be in the circle and Maddie Ryan, and really everyone has had a good season.
And I feel like it also depends on who you come up against. Certain people play different and better against certain oppositions. So week in, week out, you've got different players like being that star on court. So it's really hard to say overall. But yeah.
How did both of you get involved in netball, and why did you choose it?
Question.
I started when I was 4 because I was watching my sister play, because I've got an older sister, and as soon as I could play, I was in there. So that's how I started.
Yeah. I was a bit of a late bloomer, you'd say. I think my first actual netball was under 12s. I was grade 5, and my school was hosting some trials for the district, and my mum was just like, oh, yeah, you just get changed into your sports uniform. You can trial. We'll put your paperwork in. Just give it a go. I had no idea what the positions even stood for, but, I made the team, and then I just continued. So I guess it was just lucky.
Might as well give your local junior club a bit of a shout out. And do both of you ever go back there to help them out a bit?
My junior club was actually Jim Boomba, but it's kind of hard to say. I'm not really in the area of the courts to go back to there because I'm more associated with Metro now. So yeah.
My junior club was Shayla Park, and then I think 2014, 2015, they had a bit of a revamp, and I'd left. And then I took a year off netball when I had an ankle surgery. And I guess coming back to it, I went to Metro and under 14s, under 15s, and since then I kind of thought that was my junior club. Like that's where I got a lot of my mentoring and a lot of my experience. So I haven't moved from Metro since, because I just love the culture and I love Tigers, and I couldn't imagine moving at this point. So I'm always around the courts. I love having a look around, and when the girls come up to you and they recognize you as, oh, Tigers, and they say hi. So definitely getting around that Metro, because that's pretty much who I think raised me as a netballer.
Both you playing obviously coming up from Metro, now you're playing together at the Carina Leeds Club Tigers. How special is to play with each other in the same team? What's the best memories for both of you playing with each other?
Well, we played together in school for so many years. I think, when did you go? Grade 7. So in 2016, when Jada came to Canterbury College, that's where I went through the entire school, and Jada came into senior school. And we were in the same TAS team for school team until I graduated. Yeah. So we've played so much netball together, but
it's kind of a liability to me as well, because I just always have a thing to look for Grace. Yeah. Like I'll just have tunnel vision for Grace because I know how she plays and I know where to pass it.
Every time you get the ball, I go, oh gosh, here we go. But I think my favorite memory, because Tigers was actually my first year of shooting, and when I was under 16s, and before that I was in the circle defense as a goalkeeper. So, and you've always been an attack to wing attack, whatever it was. But there was this one year in grade 9, our grand final, and our coach was like, Jada, goal defense. So we were in the circle together defending, and that had never happened before. No. And we were all like, yes, go Jada. They don't know what you're doing. So
that's why you're good. Yeah. No one knows what you're doing. That's why you're doing good. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was probably one of the funniest moments. And we drew the final, and a bit dramatic just final.
Never circle defense again for us.
Yeah. One gone for both of us.
Well, I guess that might just answer my next question then. What position would you prefer to play on the court? And I'm assuming it's not defense.
No. Oh my God, I begged to leave the defensive circle. Oh, so much stress. Yeah. I would like to give a go at centre. I don't look like the centre. You don't see many 6'1" centres running around, but I reckon it'd be pretty fun.
I feel like everyone's heart secretly wants to be a shooter. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. You know, in like at the younger years, you see the lineup for goal shooter at trials, and it's like 50,000 kids, and there's one poor girl who's put down wing defense. Like nobody wants to play wing defense.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, no. I could say center. That's my dream.
I'd have to say probably shooting, but would never go there. I had a game there a couple weeks ago for school and did not go well.
Now, what does the sport of netball mean to both of you, and especially being part of the Carina League's club Tigers?
I think netball as a whole, I know a couple of years ago it didn't get much recognition, but the growth of the sport, and even in those regional areas, the opportunities, I feel like it's just such a good environment to be a part of, because once you get into it, there's sort of so many pathways now and opportunities and the friendships you get. So really it's such a huge part. It's been such a huge part of my life. Like I couldn't imagine it without it.
Yeah, I feel like if Grace and I stopped playing netball, we would have no idea what to do with ourselves. We'd have so much free time on our hands.
Oh my God, the time I would have. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do either you have any future ambitions in the sport of netball?
I would like to keep going it and just
play center. maybe not soon.
I would like to keep playing and just see where I can go. Like hopefully staying at Tigers. I love the community at Tigers. Would want to stay there, but
and same. I can't imagine leaving Tigers. So if it's either none or both. I'm either staying at Tigers or I'm not doing netball, because that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
What will be a highlight throughout both your netball journey so far?
I would say definitely, for me, might sound cliche, but making the Rubies team this year, because at the start of the year, I was like going through a phase where I was like, wasn't making any teams anymore, and it was kind of really disheartening. And then I got called up, and then to be put in the team later on, it was really a highlight for me.
Yeah, I was there when you got that email.
Yes, Grace is with me.
Yay. I'd say similarly. Oh, that's a hard word. But back in 2019 when it was first HART Sapphire series, and I went to the trials up at St. Peter's and Paul's, and I was pretty much like this nobody. Like I was just some random 17-year-old who was here because I made the 16s the year before, and I had no real idea who anyone was, and I think I shot at like 30%. Like it was not a great trial, but for some reason one of the coaches on the panel saw something in me, I suppose, and like the next week I got the call and they were like, oh, do you want to be training partner? I was like crying on the phone. I was like, yes. Like, oh my gosh, I'll sign the contract. So those last 2 years of me being training partner and all the hard work building up to being able to be in the team this year, I know that's not a specific moment, but overall,
it really is a big achievement. Yeah.
It just feels like it was worth it.
Yeah.
Now let's finish up with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. Let's see if we get the similar answer than a couple of your teammates we've had on the show already. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season, and what was it?
Oh my gosh.
To be honest, Erin and I have a friend named Penny who likes to sit behind the goal line, and for some reason we like to pass it to no one, to our friend named Penny. So that's quite embarrassing for us. Joe and Justin
will admit to that. I don't know. I think there was one time, I'm not sure if it's embarrassing or a little bit awkward, but Erin got smashed in between two players and she got called for contact or offside or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And she got up and it was like an Erin I've never seen before. She was so angered by it and just unleashed this new Erin. But it was like, what was that call? So yeah, that's what I thought of.
I wasn't expecting that one, but we'll move on to the next one, which is, who's the comedian on the team?
Cooley.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can guarantee, has everyone said Cooley so far?
Yep.
It's not no one
Without a
else.
doubt. The socks she wears to training,
Her massive water bottle,
her massive water bottle,
her dance moves.
the fact she looks really uncoordinated, but everything works so smoothly, and I'm not sure how she pulls it off, but it just works. Yeah, absolute goat.
She actually might have mentioned this next two questions, which I think one of you just mentioned before as well. Who's the best singer and the best dancer on the team?
I sing in the opera house, but I'm not going to give
Grace
a vote.
Is the best singer.
I'm not going to give a vote to myself.
Oh.
But I think A for effort. Erin likes a good Taylor Swift, and it's a little bit tone deaf. Sorry, Erin.
It's kind of a pump up music.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I can be a fan when Erin's singing it. It does give a little bit of entertainment. But dance wise, again, Cooley.
She's always got the moves.
Yeah.
Before a game starts, she's just dancing.
Absolutely.
Anyone into their TikToks?
I think both Cooley and I have gone viral a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
So you're TikTok famous, are you?
Oh, I'd say a 4-hit wonder. I've had a couple, but I don't have thousands of followers.
Yeah, I'm just a TikTok viewer.
She's just one of my fans.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I have to wear a white ribbon before every game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I forgot it once or twice and I was like, Grace, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I played really bad. And I was like, it's because...
You didn't play really bad. We just lost.
Yeah. And I blamed it on my white ribbon.
And I'm a similar thing. I have to have, so this isn't, my hair's like ringlet curly, but I just happen to straighten it all the time. But if I have to dead straight for a game up in a high ponytail with my grey scrunchie. And then the other thing is we have to warm up. We have to be partners and warm up. And I have to be on the sideline. Yeah. When we're doing our passing, I have to be the one on the sideline. So a couple of rituals.
Yeah.
Jada, you mentioned about not having your the ribbon before, and I'm assuming there was two. Are you putting the 2 losses down to forgetting the ribbon?
As much as I would like to say 100% it's because of my ribbon, I don't think it is. But I'll say 95%.
I'll back you up. I feel like you play better with the ribbon.
Yeah, it's just comforting, you know. This has to be there.
Does the team have a pump-up song before a game?
Not necessarily.
I don't think we do at the moment.
It's kind of just whatever Cooley or Ez puts on Stephen.
Yeah. Our Yui Boom has a name.
That's right.
Stephen's got to play the music.
What else this question is, and I asked this question already to Cooley. I'm going to get an answer from both of you. Why is the speaker name called Stephen?
I think I asked this. It's Erin's speaker, and I think it's her brothers, and they just decided to call it Stephen. I don't know. It's her brothers, but her brother's name is John or something.
Yeah.
And they decided on Stephen.
It was just random.
So yeah, craft related Steve. Who knows? I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Now, I have to ask this question. Now, I've actually seen all the player photos that you did at the start of the year and looking all serious and all that. So have you actually seen it? I'm assuming you have. How do you think, do you try not to laugh in those serious photos?
Well, it's hard when you have the people watching you and then they kind of make you laugh and you just end up pulling a weird face and you're just in between angry and trying not to smile, and it's like taking a license photo and you can feel everyone around you watching. So
I don't know. I always feel awkward with photos. So having a whole team watching me take one just adds to that.
Any of them make you laugh during the photo? And how many takes did that take until the actual proper photo that's now up on the website?
I think Emily took a lot of turns.
Yeah.
Emily was a big laugh a lot. Cooley had like a trick shot thing.
Yeah.
And she did it. And then the second the photographer was like, oh my God, let's take a photo of it. She couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because everyone started watching her and pressuring her. But for the actual photos,
I laughed a couple times, but I think I was too just like serious and wanted to get it over and done with. Just get out of there. I don't think that many sense.
No.
It's like just one photo, please.
I was more worried about where I was going to hold the ball.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be like everyone else and have it on the same side. So I was trying to be like tricky. I don't think it worked.
3 final ones before I let both of you go. The first one is, when I come up to Brisbane eventually and watch the Tigers play, what's the one thing I've got to do?
Cheer as loud as you can.
Cheer. I don't know, probably yell at us, I guess. Yeah. We've all got a code trigger word, I suppose. I know with the shooters, mine's flick. I think Grace's is knees. Emily's is elbow, like where her elbow sits. Maybe yell out, what's Penny?
Just say, don't pass to Penny.
Don't pass to Penny. Yeah. Let's get all our trigger words down, Pat.
I'm assuming Penny is a real person, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no. We just like to pass to no one sometimes.
Yeah, it's passing to a space that doesn't exist. Just giving the ball away.
It's more like a panic thing for Erin and I.
Yeah.
Now, what would be your advice to people out there that should get involved in netball, especially in the Redlands and Metro?
Yeah, don't give
it
up.
a crack. Like, when there's always pathways, there's always people here to help you. When I was 15, I didn't even make state age. I was in the 15-3s team, just some random girl who nobody knew. And then I just gave trainings my all, and ended up being a fill-in for the 2, so I got to state age. And then the next year people kind of knew who I was, and I started making teams and just continuing to put in that effort, because the moment that people recognize you as the person that like cares, the person that's really trying, that's when they're willing to put their time and effort into you. They're willing to give you that chance. So
because everyone will go through a stage where it does get really disheartening, constantly getting knocked back. But as long as you're like being resilient and like you keep going, that's really how you do get, because
you never know who's watching. That's what happens at the end of the day.
How special is to have, other than the Carina Leagues Club Tigers and the rest of your other sponsors up in Queensland, how special is it to have an interstate sponsor like Smash FM to be the sponsor there at the Carina Leagues Club Tigers?
Oh, it's really good. Like we can get the ones around, the ones close that people know, but those connections that are further down, and they open up new doors, and they help you guys, they help us. Like these connections and this interview, like this has been fun, and we wouldn't have been able to get this chance if it wasn't for you guys helping us out and giving that assistance to us. So if we're opening our doors and we're building those connections, that's what's going to help everyone at the end of the day, whether you're a newbie in under 10s, if you're someone playing Ruby or Sapphire, or if you're a parent, a friend, like, it just broadens the community. Like, exactly. Instead of just being closed as Brisbane East, it really opens us up. Yeah.
How exciting was it when you heard the news that you got an interstate sponsor?
Really exciting.
We were like, oh my gosh, people care that much about us.
Yeah.
Like, you guys looked at us and were like, yeah, these girls are cool. Let's sponsor. Like, I feel a bit honored. It was like, we're cool. We're worth it. Maybelline ad.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having both of you on the show. Hopefully we'll be coming up to Brisbane, hopefully very soon before finals. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And best of luck this week against the Panthers. And let's hope that winning streak continues. And hopefully you can gain some extra points to go past the Cougars into top spot by the end of this coming weekend.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
On the hunt for it.
Thank
Thank you for having us. It's been great.
Yeah.
No worries. And that's Grace and Jada. They're joined from the Carina Leagues Club Tigers netball team in the Ruby Series. Of course, they are flying at the moment. Of course, you can go and watch them play at Nissan Arena. Of course, on Saturday night, it's a 7 p.m. game, of course, against the Panthers there. So make sure to check it out and support the Tigers in 2021. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the Monday edition.